this team without Saquon Barkley would be on the offensive end thoroughly uninteresting to Giants fans. And that's with all due respect, and I know that's disrespectful to the other talented players that they have, skilled position players, but this guy is a star.
What is up, Giants fans? It is your boy Jay Dimes. It's been a long time since I came up here and talked some Giants football with you guys, and we are not short of news to talk about. Free agency is right around the corner. The draft is a month away, and I am back to give you guys some Giants content. I'm excited to be back, and we got a lot to talk about, so let's head right into the news. Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney are expected to test out the free agency market after the Giants declined to use the franchise tag, the transition tag on both of them, and they're now free to go out and test the market and possibly find a new team this off season. I know a lot of Giants fans are, in defense of this. Some of them wish that the Giants use the tag on Saquon or the transition tag on Xavier McKinney and possibly trade those guys for draft capital. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts, my take, and I'm gonna, of course, start off with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley to me has always been a guy that I don't think he's had the best chance to succeed ever since drafted here. Was he the right draft pick? Hindsight is 2020, but no. Obviously, the best draft pick could have been Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, but we can't go back to 2018 and change that. Shout out to Dave Gettleman. But Saquon Barkley to me is just a guy that I want to see him succeed. I want to see him on a winning team. I want to see him on a team that is going to be contending for the playoffs and contending for the Super Bowl. He's yet to have a season or yet to have a team around him where that team is a favorite to make the playoffs or a team that's favored to win a Super Bowl. And I think this right here is the best chance for him to go out there and pursue a bag and also pursue winning. Right now, the Giants should not be prioritized on drafting or signing a running back to a long-term deal. I know Saquon Barkley is a fan favorite. He's a great player. He is one of our best players. But when you are rebuilding, when you have a new regime in, you are going to start seeing some of those players that were in the past regime leave. Saquon Barkley is a great running back, but he's also about to be in, the years where we see running backs low-key slide down in production. He's about to be 27 years old. He has an injury history, and I can understand why Joe Schoen wouldn't want to use some of the caps he does have this offseason in a deal for Saquon Barkley. Where are the Giants going? Does Saquon Barkley turn the Giants into a Super Bowl contender? No. Does Saquon Barkley turn the Giants into a team that can compete with the Eagles, with the Niners, with the Cowboys in the NFC conference? No. Saquon Barkley has the best opportunity to go out there and find himself a new home, which I think is right for both sides. The Giants will be fine without Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is, again, one of the best running backs in the league, but the Giants are not in a position where they need to be bringing him back on a long-term deal. We've heard the suitors for Saquon Barkley in free agency this offseason, and the number one team we've heard the most is the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud and D'Amico Ryans, and I think that is a perfect spot for him. He could be that final piece that can really up the ceiling for that Houston Texans team who, in the first year of C.J. Stroud and D'Amico Ryans, lit the NFL to blaze. So with Saquon Barkley, I love him. Now, it's not set in stone that he's gone. He could definitely come back, and there is a chance that him and Xavier McKinney could be back as Giants, but I don't see that happening. I see Saquon Barkley going onto the open market and finding a new team, which I think is great for him and the New York Giants. So as a Saquon Barkley fan, I am excited to see what team he goes to and, how he plays on a team that should be contending for a Super Bowl or even the playoffs. Xavier McKinney is a guy where I think the Giants are going to, again, be fine without him. I don't think the Giants are looking at Xavier McKinney as a guy where if he's not on the field, the Giants can't have a defense. That's Dexter Lawrence. That is Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is the end-all, be-all of the Giants defense. And in my opinion, Xavier McKinney last year wasn't bad. He wasn't a horrible safety. He was still a good safety, but he really started to turn up his production near the end of the year. When the Giants had a chance, when we were excited and optimistic about the Giants season, Xavier McKinney was one of the most disappointing players on the team. Got ran over by Joshua Dobbs in the Week 2 game versus the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. You know what I mean? And he's always been a guy where if the Giants don't have him, I don't think the Giants are going to lose much sleep. Now, I don't know what he's commanding, for a new deal. I don't know if he wants to break the bank. I don't know if he wants to be the highest paid safety in the league. I don't know. We don't know. You know what I mean? All we can do is take in the information that we get from these beat reporters and these analysts and all that stuff like that. But again, I am not upset that the Giants didn't use the transition tag or the franchise tag on Xavier McKinney. He plays a safety position. Which I think is replaceable. I don't think there's no safety really in the league that can make or break a defense. Now, is Xavier McKinney a bad player? Not at all. He is a great player. He is, if he was on the Giants roster still, he would be one of our best defensive players. But I'm looking at the draft. I'm looking at how, there are players that we could take in the draft in the second round, the third round. I'm looking at free agency. We just brought in the former Titans defensive coordinator, and one guy that just got released by the Eagles, Kevin Byard, is going to be on the open market. So I could see him being a guy that the Giants bring in as a stopgap veteran safety to fill in a starting safety role. Jason Pinnock last season, was an undrafted free agent. We picked him up off the waiver wire back in 2022. Had a great season, in my opinion, for a guy we just picked up off the street the season before. And I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the draft. I'm looking at free agency. And I see the Giants thinking to themselves, they are going to look at bigger positions to address on the Giants roster that are bigger than a running back and safety position. What we've heard all offseason heading into free agency next week is the Giants are looking at the guard position, rightfully so. Michael Winu just didn't get the franchise tag from the New England Patriots. They used the franchise tag on Kyle Duggar. You got Bryce Huff, free agent, played for the New York Jets, had a kind of breakout year, had 10 sacks for them and a limited playing time. We've heard those names. We've heard Jermaine Illuminor, who was the right tackle for the Raiders, who, of course, our new offensive line coach, was coached him over there in Oakland or Las Vegas, sorry. But in my opinion, I think the Giants are doing this the right way. Now, is it set in stone these guys are going to be gone? No, they can easily come back after finding out what their market is like, and, the Giants can easily bring those guys back. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all, so, we still have to wait to see about that next week in free agency, but we've heard, what the Giants are looking for in free agency, and I think that they're going to prioritize their biggest weaknesses on the roster, which is the offensive line position, the guard, right tackle position, and another pass rusher that can complement Kayvon Thibodeau. You know what I mean? Azeez Ojulari, when he's healthy, can be something, can be a decent pass rusher, but that's the thing, when he's healthy, which is close to never, So I respect Joe Schoen for not giving in. I respect Joe Schoen for knowing that these are players that are well-spoken, they are liked in the locker room, and the fans like them. But I respect him for, manning up, using those balls that he has, and just saying, I'm not going to bring those guys back just because Giants fans like those players. That's not how you win Super Bowls. You don't win Super Bowls based off of, hey, he's a great player and the fans love him, let's bring him back. No, we got to find what we really need and free agency, and that is offensive line help, that is edge help, wide receiver help, and I think those are more important positions on the Giants roster for sure, bigger than running back in the safety position. So we'll see how that all plays out. We'll see what happens. Free agency's right around the corner. The draft's right around the corner. I'm going to be here to, cover it all. A lot of Giants content, the biggest move of the free agency. We're going to be over here covering it all. So if you're a new viewer, if you're an old viewer getting back to the channel, I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button, join the channel, and let's do this, man. I'm back. I'm ready. And until next time, it's been your boy Jay Dimes, and we are out. And as always, go Giants. Peace. Thanks for watching.